Now that Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is out in theaters and just crossed $1 billion at the box office worldwide speaking, both Disney and Lucasfilm are currently focused on the future of the Star Wars franchise, such as Disney Plus, their new Star Wars movies, and especially their new Star Wars universe. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one of the major aspects of course, the Star Wars franchise that Disney and Lucasfilm are really trying to evolve is, of course, this new universe that they are currently developing that's going to be modeled after the MCU. A lot of fans are expressing different opinions about this and whether or not it really is a good thing for Star Wars. You know, in my eyes, Star Wars is not Marvel and it should not be modeled after the MCU, but as long as the actual Star Wars universe is not going to mimic the Marvel movies or the TV shows, whatever have you, and if it's going to just basically use the concept of connecting movies and TV shows and comics and books all together, then in that sense I'm okay with that. But as far as tone goes, I feel like it should not be modeled after the MCU. But with that being said, moving on beyond Episode 9, we do know that Disney and Lucasfilm are very ambitious of exactly where Star Wars is going. In fact, Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, talked about this a couple of weeks ago over at the premiere of The Rise of Skywalker back in December, is that they are now just figuring out exactly what they can do with the franchise and exactly what their potential really is with Star Wars and how much they can really explore and what they can really do with it. So with that being said, what's really exciting about everything related to the character of Ben Solo is that now Disney and Lucasfilm have released The Rise of Skywalker. They are currently focused on the future of Star Wars as a franchise, such as their new Star Wars universe, as well as their new movies and TV shows to come in the near future. Now, one of the big plans that both Disney and Lucasfilm have in place is to do something big with the character of Ben Solo in their new Star Wars universe that is going to evolve the franchise. Now, the big plan is that they have in store for the fans is said to be the return of Ben Solo into the Star Wars franchise in a surprising way, and that they plan to do this in two different forms, in two different ways, if you will. Currently, a Rise of Skywalker sequel series is said to be in early development that will be in animated form, where it's said that this sequel series of The Rise of Skywalker will continue the story of both Rey Skywalker and Ben Solo in an unexpected way, and that they plan to explain what happened to him after the events of the film and after he vanished after they actually had a brief kiss in Palpatine's throne room. Not just that, but that they are also developing a dedicated novel about Ben Solo that will lead up to a full-on story about Ben Solo's return after the events of Episode 9 in an exciting way that is slated for release sometime in 2021. Since the death of Ben Solo, many fans have been left confused as to why his death was left mysterious, as to why a Force ghost of him was not revealed or shown in any way, shape, or form. This is all said to be explained in the sequel series and the upcoming book, and that a major hint will be given to the fans in this March in the upcoming novelization of the film that will give fans an idea of exactly what happened to Ben Solo, and that Disney will be doing something different with his return in the new Star Wars universe and the new canon material for Star Wars. So, I don't know if you guys actually heard about this, but J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio spoke about this briefly as to why they did not include any other Force Ghosts at the very end of Episode 9, is that they wanted to keep the other Force Ghosts mysterious, especially with Ben Solo. They didn't want to really explain the actual fate of him because, of course, you know, there are other plans currently in the works for new Star Wars canon material of exactly what happened with that particular character. So, Ben Solo, portrayed by Adam Driver, we didn't get too much of Ben Solo as far as screen time goes in the actual Rise of Skywalker film. We got, you know, a good handful of scenes. He got to take on the Knights of Ren, he got to confront Palpatine, he also got to sacrifice his life for Rey. Those were the key moments, especially when he gets to talk to a vision of his own father, Han Solo. So, after he vanishes, we never really get a full-on explanation of exactly what happened to Ben, other than the fact that when he goes, Leia goes at the same exact time, simultaneously. There's a lot of talk out there that Leia was actually giving Ben Solo the power to transfer his life force into Rey and telling him exactly how to do that and communicating with him telepathically, across the entire universe. So with that being said, the fact that they're looking at a sequel series that's going to be in animated form, kind of similar to how the Clone Wars Season 7 is being treated, and it's going to have a different animation style. They're going to look at bringing Ben Solo back in that form, as well as in the form of an upcoming novel as well. And even in the novelization due for release this March, they're going to actually give us a little hint as to exactly how Ben Solo is going to come back by Disney and Lucasfilm. That's their big plan of how to bring him back. The two major ways, and the big hint is going to be in the novelization. So you got the sequel series, you got the Ben Solo dedicated novel, and of course you got the novelization of the film, which, by the way, I will be explaining everything in greater depth about what is actually going to be explained in that novel. So be sure to tune in this, in the month of March during this year of 2020. It's going to be a very big month because a lot of scenes are going to be explained in further and greater depth, and also the deleted scenes are going to be explained in the upcoming novelization as well. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know think about all this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.